Yes, I am live and I'm horizontal. Hi, perfect moms. Hello, everyone. Nobody's actually on right now, but I'm going to wait for people to sort of jump in the Facebook Live. I am Desiree Abacassis. I'm a mother of two, and I'm so excited to be here with you guys, with the moms. If anyone jumps on, and if you could tell me if you could hear me and see me, that would be amazing. Just so I know I'm not talking to myself, that would be awesome. And I just went on before and I was vertical. So now I'm horizontal, which is excellent because this is the way you want to see me. So again, hi perfect moms. My name is Desiree. I'm a West Island DDO mom. I know many of you moms are from the West Island, and I have two children. I have a daughter, Aurelia, who is 5, and I have a son who is 2 years old. And today I wanted to talk to you about the 6 ways you can ultimately boost your family's immune system and make sure that everyone stays healthy and strong throughout the winter season. What I'm going to do is actually just make sure 100% that I'm live, just so I'm not talking to myself. And yes, it looks like I'm live. Okay, amazing. So let me just keep going here. All right. So 6 ways to strengthen your immune. Someone's there. Hello. Say something so I can see. Hi, Melina. Okay, perfect. Much better. I know horizontal is much better. Okay, so I'm going to be looking a little bit at my notes just to make sure that I've got myself in order here. But this is 6 ways to strengthen your immune system and stay healthy throughout the cold and flu season, throughout the winter season, in a natural, healthy way. So I'm a naturopath. I have been a naturopath for over 10 years, seeing clients basically individually, one-on-one consultations. I've got online courses. I've done many cooking classes in the past, raw food cooking classes, vegan cooking classes, all of this good stuff. And what I do is I see people for consultations one-on-one. I specialize in digestive health. It's my passion. It's my obsession. I know that's so weird. I love talking about poop, but I love helping people to uncover their digestive pathologies, especially IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, because I have been a sufferer myself. And I really help to I see each case-taking session as a puzzle and trying to put pieces of the puzzle together and understand people's health. Naturopathic medicine, in case you don't know, it's an alternative, a system of medicine that really seeks to understand the body, seeks to understand why something came to be, why symptoms are present, what exactly is going on with the person, not just on the physical level, not just on the physiological level, but also on the level of mind, body, emotions, stress factors, nutritional factors, supplements. We look at the entire person. Conventional medicine is amazing, has its place. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a basher of conventional medicine. I'm a huge fan of conventional medicine, and I use it myself for my family. There is one small problem, though, the compartmentalization of the human body. So you've got a doctor for the mind, a doctor for the digestive tract, a doctor for the heart. And what naturopathic medicine really strives to do is look at the entire system in a holistic way and understand a person's health and wellness via many different facets. So of course the mind impacts our health. There's no question about it. Of course, how we feel is going to impact our physiology. Everything is interconnected, and naturopathic medicine strives to understand that. So basically, I have been in practice for over 10 years in clinical practice, and I've also been immersed in the field of health and wellness and everything natural and organic and all of this amazing stuff for basically a lifetime, since my teens, since I started working at a health food store and really became fascinated with what I was seeing and learning, and I just never stopped learning since then. I'm still as passionate now as I was when I started. I'm a little obsessed with it. It's kind of all I immerse my life in, but it just covers so many different aspects of life and health and wellness, and it's just so fascinating to me. I love every single aspect of it. So that was a little bit of my introduction. Stay till the end, guys. I'm going to give you 3 really interesting, weird, strange recipes, kind of like grandmother's recipes that you can implement into your family's life. So these are the problems that we are currently undergoing. And I can totally relate. I'm a mother of two. My daughter was in daycare for like 4 years. My son is currently in daycare. My son has gone from a home daycare of like 8 to 10 children to a daycare of like 19 to 20 children. My children are prone to ear infections. I feel like we're always dealing with something during the cold and flu season, but I try my best to go the natural route before I try anything else. Hi guys. Thanks for joining in. Nice to see everyone coming in. A few familiar names from here, from the West Island. So as much as possible, we are responsible as mothers to take care of our little innocent, fragile children and do the best that we can in order to strengthen their defenses and strengthen their immune system, because it's inevitable. We are going to come into contact with pathogens. I mean, they're all around us. Viruses, bacteria, all of these sort of invading predators, if you want to look at it that way, and we're constantly being bombarded. So the only control that we have and the only thing that we can do to help ourselves is really work on ourselves and strengthen that defense system and that immune system and make sure that we're doing the best that we can during this cold and flu season. And I'm even a fan of really strengthening your immune system before cold and flu season hits. So like taking September and October, even maybe a little bit of August, to start building your system up so that you will be less affected when it really hits hard. Okay, so we can all relate. Guys, moms, can you relate here? I want this to be kind of interactive. So, interact with me. Tell me if you have questions and tell me if you agree or whatever. But can everyone relate to stomach bugs, colds and flus, ear infections? We get letters from the daycare saying, scarlet fever, and yes, you can relate. And like pinworms. What else have I heard? Just really alarming diseases, and you're like, oh my God, like your child has come into contact with scarlet fever, and you're like, I thought that was from like the 1940s. That's still around, and it's scary. It's scary. I'm drinking as we go. Oh my God, yes. So yeah, I mean, it's crazy. So what we want to do is really strengthen those defenses as much as possible. And I'm here to tell you and give you confidence, and I want to give you confidence that you can take measures to strengthen your children's immune system. And it's not only the children that are affected, but we're affected too. My son kisses my face all day long and while he has a cough, but of course I want those kisses, so I'm not going to say no. Of course, right? Who doesn't want their baby's kisses? Best thing ever. So the thing is that we are inundated. Basically, whatever our child brings home from daycare, we're going to be likely to get. And I'm so grateful now that I actually work from home and I work online. I see clients online a lot internationally, like around the world. And I remember, not long ago, I had a job that I had to go into, and it's really hard as a mom who has a career and has to go into work. And then you wake up in the morning thinking, oh my God, is my kid going to feel well today? Like, I don't want to call in sick again. I don't want to have to explain to my boss. It's very, very challenging as a female mother to be a working mother and have our children in daycare. Okay, so I kind of feel like I'm ranting on right now, but what I want to impart to you is that natural medicine, alternative medicine, has very powerful tools that are often not present in another system. What's beautiful as a naturopath is that we have an entire toolkit that we can call upon based on the individual client's case. What's beautiful about naturopathic medicine is that it's highly individualized. It's really customized, and it's case-by-case medicine. So you can have 10 people suffering from arthritis, but everyone suffers in a different way. Everyone's going to need a different set of remedies or a treatment, not even a protocol. I'm not going to use the word protocol, but a treatment method in order to really get to the root of that problem and how they're suffering and how the symptoms show up. And all of this is just beautiful because we have an entire arsenal and a toolkit that we can call upon to help strengthen those defenses. And okay, so just 2 seconds on what does the immune system do. We're not going to go into the complex science of it, but actually our bodies are incredible miracles. Like the human body fascinates me. I love it. It's so interesting. All the intricacies and all of the delicate processes that have to happen perfectly in order to sustain our being. It just gives me the shivers. It's beautiful. I specialize in digestion, and what has to happen, so many tiny processes that have to happen, so many levels of pH balance that have to happen at different levels of the GI tract. It's just a miracle. So if you think of the immune system, I hope I'm looking into the camera. It's that little circle over there, right, guys? Say something. Can you see me if I look over here? So basically our immune system is our body's defense system. If you want to look at it as like a little army of cells and proteins and tissues that is basically protecting our body against foreign pathogens, invaders, bacteria, viruses. It's our body's main defense system, and therefore we have to take good care of it in order to ward off any invading pathogens, okay? And it's a very intricate process that happens. Basically, our immune system acts in a way that it collects data and information in a way with antibodies that basically get reminded when you are attacked with that pathogen again. Our immune system remembers and has mounted a defense already against that pathogen, and it remembers that it did so. So it's going to be more effective in fighting that pathogen when it comes up again. That is the role of the immune system. It obviously goes much deeper into that. There are different cells and the B cells and the T cells and all of this stuff, but we don't have time to get into all of that. I really want to show you some practical tips. That is my ultimate goal. I love to educate my clients, and I love to show them exactly what they can do and how they can do it, and how they can really, when I'm one-on-one with my clients, like I want you to get off the call with me and go to the health food store and go to the grocery store or the whatever, buy whatever you need in order to start right away. There's no time to waste with health. Health is our number one asset, and without health, we have nothing. So if we don't feel well, we're not able to take care of anyone around us as mothers, and we just have to be healthy in order to be our best, okay, and have lots of energy. So I thought of something very interesting that came up. If you think about the term cold and flu season, think about what happens during September, October, November, and December, at least in North America. I think that most people from this group are local. Hi, Valerie. So think about what happens during this time period. Can anyone give me a little bit of insight into what's happening during September, October, November, December, the fourth quarter of the year, and a bit of January, a little bit of the first quarter? So tell me what's happening during this last quarter of the year in life. Somebody? Anybody? Will I have to answer my own questions? Okay, guys. So this is the season that's coined the cold and flu season. But at the same time that this is happening, September, we're going back to school, back to work, summer is over. What does that bring along? A lot of stress. October, we're basically, we've got Thanksgiving, the apocalypse. We've got Thanksgiving. Yes, it's getting colder. Yes, but I'm trying to get to something else. Colds, and more cold, for sure. School activities. Yes. Less fresh salads, less fruits and vegetables available. Absolutely. October, we've got Thanksgiving dinner, pumpkin pie, sweets, tons of food, stuffing our systems, definitely germs as well. October, Halloween comes. We're spending money. We're getting costumes for our kids. We're going to buy all that disgusting candy to give out to all the kids. And of course, we're going to dig into that candy ourselves, right? So sugar is the number one way to suppress your immune system. If you want to have a weak immune system, consume a lot of sugar. We're going to get into that a little bit more later. So we've gotten into September, October, back to school, more stress, less sleep, right? We have to get up earlier in the morning, more stress, more financial stress. And then November comes, and then we've got December, Christmas season, running around, more stress, having to buy lots of gifts. Family can often bring about a lot of stress also, unfortunately, family dynamics. So during all of this period, our system is obviously suppressed. We're going through a time period where we're more stressed, we're eating more sugar, we're eating less fruits and vegetables, we're getting less sunlight because there's less vitamin D that is able to be synthesized in our body. And we're eating more sugar, we're eating more gluttonous foods, we're stuffing our faces during the holiday season. Yes, sugar, definitely. So if you think about this, yes, it's cold and flu season, the weather's getting colder, we're being exposed to more germs at work and at school, but we're also depleting our immune system by the lifestyle choices that we are making because of our dominant culture and because of all the things that are happening around us. And we want to participate in those things, right? I mean, it's normal, it's okay, but we can manage it better. So I just thought this was very interesting because this brings a lot of insight into what you can do to strengthen your immune system, because it shows us what happens that depletes our immune system, right? David says sugar decreases the immune system. Yes, it's actually known to be, clinical research shows that sugar actually depletes the immune system. We're not just making it up here. So I thought that was super interesting, that cold and flu season really coincides with all of this holiday shenanigans. Okay? Less sleep, we wake up earlier, financial stress, all of this stuff. And what's interesting, this is actually my favorite concept in health and wellness, is the concept of susceptibility. So have you ever noticed that sometimes, let's say someone comes into work sick, coughing, snotty, putting booger all over the place, Kleenex all over the place, and some people will pick up those germs and some people won't. Like I said, we're constantly being bombarded and inundated with pathogens and bacteria and viruses. It's all around us, but our beautiful system is constantly mounting an immune response to protect us. Our body is always striving towards health and wellness, and our body will always help us to get into a state of equilibrium and balance and homeostasis. That is what our body does in our favor. We have to thank, if you believe in God, we have to thank up above for our beautiful body. Every single morning when you wake up, be grateful for your body and all the intricate, complex things that have to happen in order to maintain metabolism, digestion, blood sugar balance, blood pressure, cholesterol levels. Everything that has to happen in your body takes a beautiful, intricate process. So this idea of susceptibility shows us that some people, if your system is weak, you're going to be more susceptible to catching whatever is going around. If your system is stronger, you're going to be less susceptible. So think of that beautiful concept of susceptibility. It's kind of like a beautiful dance or a balance. When we're weak, we're going to be more susceptible. When we're strong, we're going to have stronger defenses and be less susceptible. Does that make sense? So let's get into the actual tips that I want to give you today. These are the 6 ways, the 6 sort of practices that you can put into place, that you can be very conscious of and aware of in order to strengthen yours and your family's immune system. The first one is having a great, strong diet. Sorry, guys, I have to drink. My throat's getting dry here. So nutrition, your diet, what you put into your mouth, in this little mouth over here, is going to bring you towards a level of health and wellness, or it's going to deplete your health and bring you towards illness, just being blunt here. But whatever we put into our bodies, every single bite is going to count. So you want to be healthy most of the time. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes it's fun to have naughty foods, and I'm totally guilty of that myself. But we want to try to maintain at least an 80% strong, healthy, foundational diet. And what does this mean? So think about it this way. If you have a child or an adult, whatever, who's a little bit intolerant to gluten, let's just use gluten as an example because that's very popular. Maybe that person has an underlying sensitivity or intolerance. It's not necessarily celiac disease. It's not necessarily an actual allergy or an anaphylactic reaction, but that person's constantly eating pasta or bread or a muffin. And that person is constantly, if that person's sensitive, bombarding the immune system. The immune system is the defense system. Remember, it's that front line of defense. It has to keep fighting and fighting and fighting against that, troublesome ingredient that you're constantly putting into your body. So we have to think about that. That's where allergies, if you've heard of leaky gut syndrome, this all comes to play with low-level allergies and intolerances. So if you're constantly inundating your body with something that your body has to mount an immune response and is sensitive to, you're not doing your body very good, and it's going to affect your body. You're going to get more fatigue, brain fog, maybe some candida, other symptoms that your body's going to start responding with. Remember, symptoms are our body's mechanism. It's our body's signaling system. It tells us what exactly is happening in our body. We have to listen to symptoms. We have to pay attention. We have to be really in tune with our internal body and what's going on, because our bodies are very intelligent and they're going to tell us what's happening at all times. It's just that these days we're so busy and our modern lifestyle just brings us in all these different directions that we don't take the time to really tune in, and then we really miss the mark. We miss these signals, and then we end up suffering from it. And how many people are walking around with poor digestion, gas and bloating, fatigue, brain fog, aches and pains? I mean, all of these things can be improved with the proper system, with the proper natural medicine system. I strongly believe in it because I've seen it. I've seen the results. I see healing all the time. Thank God with my clients, people getting better within very short periods of time. It's amazing. You've got people suffering years of suffering and just a couple weeks of implementing the program, if they're good clients, of course, and they adhere to the program, feeling so much better in a short period of time. It's so amazing how resilient and flexible the body is and how fast it can come back into equilibrium and balance. Beautiful. So again, what we want to stay away from are packaged, processed, refined, boxed, jarred, canned foods. Foods as they come in the supermarkets, unfortunately, you want to stay away from the center aisles of the supermarkets. All of this boxed foods has to have preservatives and foreign man-made ingredients in them, because without those, they cannot stay on the shelf, and then large companies cannot make their money and their profits. So we want to make sure to eat fresh, wholesome fruits and vegetables, and nice quality organic eggs, free range meat if you eat meat, whatever your diet is. We can get into the paleo diet and the keto diet and the vegan and the raw. Anyway, whatever, it doesn't matter right now. People get so tied to their dietary system and get so defensive about it, but we're not getting into any of that right now. And just to let you know, I don't adhere to one eating way or system of eating because everyone is so different, and what one person can tolerate, another person cannot tolerate. So it's actually very silly to adhere to one system of eating for everybody globally. Doesn't make sense. Okay? So avoid the middle aisles. Yes. So you want to stay in the perimeter of the grocery store if you're going to a conventional grocery store. And even the health food stores, guys, are the same thing. You've got all the packaged, processed, boxed, canned foods in the center. So you want to stay along the side aisles. You've got the fruits and vegetables. You've got the organic dairy and the eggs. And then you've got, I'm just thinking of the health food store that I go to. You've got like the sauerkraut and then the raw meat. And then you've got the supplement aisle in the back. But so stay at the perimeter, shop the perimeter, don't shop the center. And so just think about it, like all of these packaged and processed foods, the body cannot really identify, and it's not bioavailable, as opposed to like eating a fresh apple, which has all the enzymes and the nutrients that we need in order to digest that apple. It's so beautiful. And so we want to consume foods that are whole and raw and nutritious as much as possible, because those are the foods that contain the antioxidants, the vitamins, the vitamin C, the vitamins and minerals that are going to help ward off disease and really help to maintain a healthy body. Okay? So the next one I want to talk about, which is my favorite, is really maintaining a healthy gut flora. So healthy gut bacteria. Guys, you've probably heard about this on commercials for yogurt. It's very popular and, in fashion right now to talk about probiotics and healthy gut flora, but there's such a good reason for this. So about 70 to 80% of our immune system is located in our digestive system. Okay, so we have these things called Peyer's patches, these cells, and those actually secrete T cells. They secrete like immune system cells. Amazing. So a lot of our immune system is housed inside of our digestive system. So you want to take care of your digestive system. You want to make sure that you crowd out any foreign bacteria, not viruses, obviously. Crowd out foreign bacteria, crowd out candida, the overgrowth of fungus, parasites. I know this sounds scary and monstrous, but we are inundated with this stuff all the time. Our bodies contain all of these harmful bacteria as well. But we want to make sure that we don't fall into a state of dysbiosis, because dysbiosis means that the bad guys are taking over the good guys. So what you want to do is make sure that you have strong and healthy proliferation of good, healthy bacteria. Now, how do you get good, healthy bacteria? Well, what yogurt should I buy? And kosher. All yogurts have a ton of sugar. Kosher, I'm not sure. I don't know about kosher. Is Liberty has an organic line. Is it kosher? I'm not sure. Yes, yogurts that are flavored with fruits have a ton of sugar in them. Definitely, absolutely. You want to stay obviously with a plain sugar. There's a beautiful brand that you can buy at health food stores in a glass container. It's called Pine Hedge Farms, and it's not made from milk solids. It's actually made from the actual milk, because all of our food, guys, is so modified and so foreign to the actual original food and the way it should be, that we have to be super conscious and aware as consumers. We have to learn how to be savvy and read labels and know what we're buying for our families. This is the food that's going to nourish our bodies and nourish our families' bodies. So be a savvy, smart, educated consumer. Take the time to learn labels. Take the time to learn to identify chemical ingredients, even in your body care products and your cosmetic products, even those expensive products, from beauty store counters. That's all garbage, guys. That's full of chemicals and toxins that eventually enter into our bloodstream. Anyway, I have a whole detox that deals with that, but start slowly. That's my tip. Baby steps. Implement one thing at a time, because those changes are going to be the most lasting and sustainable changes. So in going back to our immune system and how it's housed in our gut, we want to think about things that actually hamper our good gut bacteria. Now, this is going to surprise some of you. Over sanitization, too much use of those what is that stuff called? The antibacterial hand washes and foaming things, and they're everywhere we walk, like every single public door that we walk into. And sometimes they're very useful, but we don't want to over sanitize too much, because then we're killing off all the good bacteria. The overuse of antibiotics, I have to say that in my life, with my children, I've had to use antibiotics several times. I don't love it, but sometimes the ear infection is just too bad, and I don't want my children to lose their hearing, God forbid. So, but just I always try to go the natural route first and try to get rid of the infection naturally. And sometimes it works amazing. Within the next day, the infection's gone. And sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes the pain is still there and the infection's still there and the redness and the swelling. And I have to go that route. And that's totally acceptable and fine. And we do what we have to do. But as much as possible, I'm going to show you some tricks after for ear infections as well, if your children are prone to it. But you want to basically, don't over sanitize, not too many rounds of antibiotics. Pesticides also harm our gut bacteria. Over stress, too much stress is going to deplete our healthy gut bacteria. So that's stuff that we can manage. That's stuff that's in our control. So what you want to do is get a nice high quality probiotic supplement. If there's one supplement that everyone should be taking, in my opinion, it's a really good quality probiotic, and that should be taken every day. That's always in my fridge. Yeah, plain yogurt should have very little sugar besides the lactose, besides the naturally occurring sugar. Someone said, I think plain Liberty yogurt has very little, if any, sugar, but it has the lactose, obviously the naturally occurring sugar, as that's part of milk, but it shouldn't have any other added sugars, okay? So yeah, you want to make sure that you're not, how do you cure an ear infection without antibiotics? I'm going to show you some options here. And just keep in mind, guys, whatever I'm saying here is for educational purposes only. This is a disclaimer. Nothing I say should be taken, 100%, and that you go and do everything that I'm talking about. But obviously, we're all smart moms and we all make the right decisions for our children. But we want to make sure to consult with our doctors before implementing any natural remedies or anything that you're going to implement. Okay, that's just a little disclaimer. So you want to make sure that you inhabit your gut with healthy, good bacteria. So you can take a probiotic supplement every single day. You can consume, speaking of Costco has this huge, if you don't want to make your own fermented vegetables, this huge container of beautiful organic sauerkraut. So delicious. I could just go in there and eat the whole container of it. But you want to include lots of lacto-fermented foods in your diet. Lacto-fermented vegetables are excellent. You can find them at health food stores, the non-pasteurized kind, because those are going to have the enzymes that you want. And the good bacteria, the healthy bacteria. Miso is another paste that you can add to your broth, to your soup. You never want to cook it. Kefir is excellent. I give my children kefir every single morning. sauerkraut, kimchi, miso, kombucha, yogurt, kefir. You can get, if you can't tolerate dairy, you can get coconut kefir. You can get kefir grains and make water kefir. So all of these fermented foods should be an absolute part of your diet, and start to experiment with them. You know, don't underestimate the fact that your children might love them. So I put sauerkraut on the table at dinner in like a little dish, and my daughter loves it. My daughter loves pickles and olives and all these stuff. Oh, of course, all pickles, real pickles, like Moishi's pickles. Those are real fermented pickles. So you want to look for really just salt and water in the recipe and in the ingredients list, not vinegar. Laura wants to be in my video. Okay, cute. So I'm not sure I'm going to bring you on in the video right now, but I just want to finish off and give you guys these applicable tips so that you can really benefit from them. So all of these lacto-fermented vegetables are excellent, and your children might end up just loving them. Your children might even want to drink the sauerkraut or pickle juice. Who knows? Give them to try. It's a sour flavor. It's a pungent flavor. It's a beautiful flavor. Always present your kids with all options. Don't assume that they're not going to like it because it's healthy. Okay, so another thing that you want to do is best pickles ever. Which brand? Jenny, which brand are the best pickles ever? Yeah, they do have actually a real pickle at Costco as well. It's a huge, massive jar. Okay, so in our modern lifestyle, we're overstressed. Our children are overscheduled, running to school. I mean, the school day is so long, at least in my daughter's case. And then people, you know, send their children for lessons, and the weekends are packed. And are children getting enough sleep? Like, we have to pay attention to that as well. Moishi's pickles, yeah, they're really good. We have a pickle fan in the house. So you want to make sure that that you manage stress. So I notice stress in my daughter now. Like, she just started kindergarten, and I noticed the transition between daycare and kindergarten is a big transition. And I could see, you know, from different things that are happening in her life that she's undergoing stress. So children undergo stress for sure. We can't underestimate that. And again, our lifestyles are so busy. So what happens during a stress response is that cortisol is released through our adrenal glands, adrenaline is released, and our body is going into an emergency fight or flight response. And when that happens over and over and over, and when stress becomes chronic and long-lived, and this is the case for most of us, we get pissed off when someone cuts us off on the road, we get pissed off at our husbands, we get mad. What did someone, oh yeah, I went to get my eyebrows done today, and the lady sitting there couldn't handle the fact that the poor girl there was vacuuming the floor. She got so angry, and then she stormed out and left the place. And I just couldn't believe it. So people get so upset and overworked from tiny things. And what happens when that happens is that you're just overtaxing your own system. Your body is going into a physiological stress response, and that is a great response to protect us from danger. But most of the time, we're not in a dangerous state. We're just overreacting. Our bodies are going into that hyper stress response. And cortisol actually reduces the immune system's ability to work properly and fight off and ward off infection. Okay? So when cortisol levels are high, your immune system is not working properly. So keep stress to a low. How do you manage stress? Make sure, you know, with your children, that your children have the time, have downtime, resting time, enough time to sleep, creative time to be creative, time to play outside, time to do really creative things, and just be in a calm state. Of course, you can introduce your children to meditation and deep breathing and yoga. There's a wonderful channel for yoga. Introduce your kids to it. It's amazing. It's called Cosmic Kids Yoga. And basically, the girl, what's her name? Jamie, she's amazing. She goes through like the movie Frozen and introduces all the characters of Frozen and what they would do in different yoga positions, and Star Wars and the Trolls movie. And the kids just love it. It's so much fun. And I see my daughter participating so excitedly in Cosmic Kids Yoga. So introduce them to this. It's so positive and beneficial. Journaling, Cosmic Kids Yoga. Yeah, it's amazing. Journaling, getting a massage. I mean, who doesn't love to get a massage? Aromatherapy, we'll go into that a tiny bit. Epsom salt baths. So make sure you have some beautiful, take time for baths, which are beautiful in the wintertime. Sufficient sleep. So have you ever noticed that when you're not getting enough, when you're stressed and not sleeping well, that you tend to get sick and you tend to be more prone to getting colds and flus and viruses that go around? So it's very important. Children must get between 10 to 14 hours of sleep per day, and in order to have a strong system to fight off any germs that come their way. We want to make sure that the quality of sleep too matters very much. Make sure that don't keep on any night lights or anything like that. Turn the lights off. Make sure the room is dark so that your child is able to secrete melatonin, which is the hormone that helps them to sleep. So keep the room dark. Definitely don't keep a TV in the room. No devices, no iPads and iPhones. Even if they're shut off, try to get them out of the room. No, Wi-Fi router in your children's room or in your bedroom or anything. Try, even though we're surrounded by it, but try to keep that electromagnetic frequency out of our spaces, because that's going to help us sleep better. Yes. Okay, so sugar, as we said before, try to ditch the sugar as much as possible. Find replacements. It's known to actually suppress the immune system. What you want to do is limit your child's overall intake of sugar, and sugar is found everywhere. It lurks in the most unexpected places. Sometimes canned vegetables will contain sugar. Sugar is just everywhere. So try to make sure that you, again, learn to read labels and keep sugar to a minimum. If you want to know what foods your children or yourself are intolerant to or sensitive to, you can always do a food sensitivity test. I do a food panel. I send off my clients' blood work to a specialized laboratory in Alberta, and we test for all kinds of foods to see what the body is reacting to, and there's different levels of reaction as well. I would recommend removing cell phones out of the bedroom. Yeah, definitely. Even if they're on airplane mode, try to get them out of the bedroom and try to get yourself a regular alarm clock. And this is advice that I'm telling myself right now, because I sometimes take my cell phone into the bedroom. I mean, we just do it. But try to get a regular alarm clock that doesn't require the use of your cell phone. Try to keep the cell phones out of the room. Definitely. Why not? Just beneficial. So which foods that you might be... Oh yeah, no, fruits and vegetables, of course. The naturally occurring sugars are excellent, unless you're dealing with a situation of candida, which requires a special diet where you are supposed to limit your sugar intake. If you've got IBS, some people follow the FODMAPs diet, which is highly fermentable sugars, and they're supposed to keep a lot of fruit sugars out of the diet. So it really depends, again, on what you're dealing with and what your different health profile is, and what your symptoms, how your symptoms are presenting themselves. So you want to maybe get sugars that are lower on the glycemic index. So for example, for baking, I like to use coconut sugar if I'm making, almond flour muffins or cookies or anything like that. Stevia, some people love it, some people hate it, but it's a great replacer if you take sugar, if you take any kind of sweetener in your tea or coffee. I love licorice root. It's beautiful unless you have high blood pressure. I love teas that contain licorice root because the tea ends up being so sweet. I mean, it really satisfies that sweet craving. Again, if you get stevia, you want to get the powdered green leaf form. You don't want to get the white stuff because, again, that's processed and refined. But the real green leaf stevia, and add a tiny bit, it's like 300 times more concentrated than sugar. I wouldn't bake with stevia, but you can do whatever you want. Even maple syrup and honey, they're great, but try to limit them. And then, of course, candy. And then candy for children contains not only the refined white sugar, which is totally poisonous, but it also contains a lot of food coloring and dyes and things like this, which are very harmful for children's health. Monk fruit, Lakanto sugar, is also another nice sugar made of monk fruit. And so you want to definitely stick, if you want to replace dessert, I often serve my children fruit. If you go by food combining, you don't want to serve fruit after dinner, but they always want something sweet after dinner. So I'll often serve mangoes, or I'll cut up an orange, or I give some dates, or some raisins, or medjool dates are also excellent. What else do I do? Dried apricots. I give them prunes sometimes. They love it. They like beg for prunes and raisins. It's my favorite thing. So I just love giving, of course, dried fruit has more concentrated sugars, but I love giving these alternatives as a dessert instead of like a chocolate lava bomb cake or whatever. Yeah, you're looking to see. So Michelle asks if we're looking at the label of a canned vegetable. Are you looking to see if sugar's yeah, absolutely. Look to see if refined white sugar is an added ingredient in that list. And if it is, ditch it. Why would you need extra sugar? Okay, guys, I'm going to get into some of my favorite supplements right now to boost immunity. Again, disclaimer, don't take any supplements. Don't take my word for it. This is kind of an educational, informative session. Ask your doctor, ask your medical practitioner, your pediatrician before you take anything, okay? Some of my favorite supplements. I've brought a whole bunch to show you here. I forgot to bring my probiotic, my favorite probiotic, but it's from this company. Now, remember, I've been in health food stores since like I was 15, okay? So there's a lot of junk lining the shelves of health food stores, but there are a select few excellent number of companies that have great integrity, great standards, great philosophies, you know, just really good, wholesome products. They stick to their word. They put in the bottle what they say is going to be in the bottle. They standardize their extracts so that we know what's in the bottles. Remember, with supplements, you have to have an NPN number. This is a natural product number. So people, you know, underestimate the validity of supplements. But our supplement industry is highly regulated in Canada by Health Canada. The claims that we're allowed to say about supplements, the fact that every supplement and formula has to have that natural product number, make sure that it's gone through comprehensive testing. They've had to prove, the companies have had to prove themselves and make sure that what is in the supplement is actually in the supplement. And then you want to go with good, reputable companies because you know that their stuff won't come from China and is not toxic and contaminated and all of this stuff. So I love this brand. It's called Herbasante. I'm going to show you a few products from it. Herbasante, Altera. I do have some of these products on my website. What I want to show you is this bottle, but it's not the actual bottle. The probiotic will say Probiophilus. This is a beautiful probiotic. I use it for myself and my children. I open up the capsules when I make a smoothie or into their applesauce or into their yogurt, or where else do I put it? My kids drink kefir in the morning, so I'll open up a capsule, especially if they've gone through antibiotics, and I'll just open up a few capsules of the probiotic powder and I'll just dump it in there. Hi, Marie-Claude. So I'll just dump the probiotics into their food or drinks. Hi, Melanie. So much fun. Hi, friends. And what I love about that, so what you want to make sure in choosing a good probiotic supplement is that it has many different strains of bacteria. So obviously this isn't it, but many different strains of bacteria, especially bifidobacteria, lactobacillus, acidophilus, because you want to make sure it has the strains that are going to target both the large and the small intestine. Most of our gut bacteria is housed in our large intestine, in our colon. So you want to make sure that you have a variety of strains and that you want to make sure that it has a nice, strong number. So you want to make sure the bacterial count is in the billions. So what I love about the Herbasante Probiophilus is that it has 9 different strains. What is it? Hang on. Yeah, 9 different strains and 12 billion active bacteria. So you want to look for colony forming units, CFUs, strong, healthy bacteria that's still alive and still active and still going to help to populate your gut with healthy bacteria. So it strengthens immunity, like we said, because you want to have a strong store of good, healthy bacteria in order to strengthen your immune system, in order to have happy moods, fight off anxiety and depression. I know this sounds interesting, but if you look into current research in the microbiome, okay, with the microbiome, healthy gut bacteria, they're finding that healthy bacteria is linked to all different sorts of health conditions. Like I said, anxiety and depression, lowered immunity if you don't have enough good bacteria, candida, parasitic infections, what else? So many different aspects of health are really tied in and linked with the good gut bacteria. So I'm just thinking of the question here. Is it safe for babies? I give it to my 2-year-old. There are definitely probiotics that are tailored to babies. Okay. So Flora makes a nice one. There's the toddler probiotic. They're not allowed to say babies, but it's the toddler probiotic. It's in a powder form. You can get that one. There is Renew Life. I have a lot of probiotics in my fridge. So Renew Life has these little tablets for children. They're like candies. And I actually give those to my kids because they enjoy taking them. Everything is linked to the gut. Yeah, yay. So gut bacteria is very important. That's why taking a high quality probiotic is very important. Okay? So what's nice about the Probiophilus as well is that it does not require refrigeration. If there's one thing that I regret, when I went to India, I had terrible digestive problems. I regret not taking a probiotic every single day on that trip because I know that if I had taken a probiotic every single day, my gut would have been in tip-top shape and I wouldn't have gotten so sick. So what I like about this one is that it's travel safe, so you don't have to refrigerate it. You can just pop it into your luggage and go and take a probiotic every single day. Hi, Lita. Okay, another one that I love from this company. I love it. It's amazing. It's called Herbicox. So if anyone of you know oxylococcinum, it's a homeopathic product by Boiron, but it's not as comprehensive as this one. So Herbicox are in little vials, and you could take them at the first signs of feeling sick. So if you start to feel, that first little sore throat, or, you start sneezing, or you start coughing, or your nose starts running, you're like, oh shit, I'm getting sick. Herbicox, have it in your medicine cabinet. You take a few vials, and it really helps to strengthen that immune system. Not only does it contain the main ingredient that oxylococcinum contains, but it also contains echinacea, aconite, eupatorium perforatum, ferrum phos, all of these other homeopathic remedies that will strengthen the immune system. Okay? The next one that I want to present to you is really unique and really beautiful. This you can find at Marché Tao, at the health food store. You can also find it on my website. This is the adult version. There's also a child version. This is a beautiful cough syrup. But not only is it a cough syrup, it's also an immune strengthener. It's an expectorant, so it's going to help to get rid and loosen up all that phlegm and mucus that comes along with a cold, and that's very hard to get rid of. That often causes that persistent, troublesome, nagging, persistent cough that never goes away. Some of you can relate. My son was coughing for a pretty long time, but I tried to give this every day. I might need to go get some water, guys. But I'm going to present to you, stay on because I'm going to give you a few recipes. This is the adult version of the Bronchotux cough syrup. Again, good for bronchitis, cough, sinusitis. Yeah, definitely. I can give you some links at the end. Would you be able to provide us with names of these suggestions? Definitely, I can give you links that I'll put maybe underneath the Facebook Live. I'll try to do that for you when the live is done. Sore throat. It dissolves mucus, irritations, inflammation of the respiratory tract, and it contains beautiful healing and soothing herbs, thyme, moss, which is very mucilaginous and soothing for the throat, umca, which is another beautiful ingredient. And they have a child version, which is homeopathic cough syrup, which is good for every age, no problem. So it's good for any age. This is basically from like 2 or 3 and up. We have to make sure on the labels, but the child version is homeopathic, so you can even give it to a baby. And I know, guys, it's so hard to find natural remedies. First of all, if you go the conventional route, there isn't much you can give besides Advil and Tylenol, right? Like, is everyone with me here? There's not so many options. There's not so many solutions. So then you have to turn to the alternative world. And sometimes the stuff works and sometimes it doesn't work. And sometimes it works like amazingly well. So sometimes homeopathics are all we have to work with. And that's true for colic and teething. If you have babies, we often turn to the homeopathics, and like I said, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I personally give my children this cough syrup. I find it very gentle, very mild. I love having it around. I have a beautiful, I have tons of supplements around in my house because I always want to be armed with the best possible thing that I can give to the kids. Would you guys be okay if I ran and got some water because my throat's getting dry? So hang on 1 second, bear with me. Thanks, guys, for waiting. I gotta get you a bottle or 5 of the cough syrup. I know these coughs can be so persistent and so nagging and so annoying and never go away. And this is really a nice solution. It also has some honey in it, so it's very soothing. And honey, of course, has its own medicinal properties, which we can talk about. I can basically talk forever about this stuff. How am I doing on time? So I think I'll go for 1 hour total. I don't want to bore you guys to death. So let's go for another 10 minutes. I'm going to try to present as much as I can within the next 10 minutes and complete my presentation. Another beautiful product by this company is Echinoplex. And it's a homeopathic echinacea. So it's not really so safe to give small children echinacea. It's a strong plant. We have to be careful as well in the medicinal world with different plant remedies because they can be very effective and very powerful and very strong and have a really positive effect. But we want to be careful with children. So Echinoplex is beautiful because it's homeopathic echinacea. And it has different types of echinacea in it. I won't bore you with the names. They're all the Latin names of echinacea and different potencies and, the different potencies of echinacea. Can you guys still see me? Connection lost. Okay. So, again, for strengthening immunity, cold and flu prevention. So again, the first product that I mentioned, that Herbicox and this Echinoplex, you can actually use as prevention. So if you feel like your kid's sick and you're like, oh my God, I got to take care of my kid, but my kid's sick, you can start implementing these things in a preventative way to make sure that you don't get that cold or flu or germy. For parents, Viramed, also amazing product because it contains immune modulating and strengthening herbs. Maybe you've heard of these, maybe you haven't. Astragalus, Drosera, golden seal, which is going to help also kill off any virus or bacteria. Propolis, which is from honeybees, and that's it. So it's a really nice formula for throat infections, strengthening the immune system. The first signs of cold and flu, you pop a bunch of these and you're going to help to strengthen your own immune system. Now, somebody asked about ear infections before. My first line of defense, so I have a little section here with all of these remedies. My first line of defense for ear infections, and I try so hard to get rid of them naturally as much as I can because it's just hell to take, rounds of 10 days of antibiotics over and over again. So I have this homeopathic, it's called Zamise, and it's for ear infections. Okay, so the child takes orally, completely safe. What's nice about homeopathy is that there are 0 side effects. So if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and that's the worst that can happen. No side effects, completely safe medicine, no interactions with other medications, okay? So if you're on another medication or if your child is on another medication, no contraindications, no interactions with other medications, very safe medicine, very effective medicine, has been around for over 200 years. Many clinical studies and research. So this is the Zamise for the earache. Now I have their whole line. I have the one for dentition. There's another one for gastro. So they have a nice line of homeopathics. And this was developed by actually a man who developed this line for his children when they were growing up because he found that there was nothing kind of on the market. And so he developed this with his children in mind. And then now it's available to us. So I thought that was beautiful. Another thing that is very effective is this cream called Arnicade cream. This is a cream that's great. It contains arnica, which is another homeopathic remedy. Very effective for pains, sprains, bruises. Anytime your child gets injured or hurt, have this in your backpack. So, women, if your sons play hockey or other kinds of sports, if your girls do dancing, keep this in the gym bag. This is going to help. Any arthritic pain for our parents as well, our aging parents, excellent. You just rub this into the area, rub this into the muscle, and I find it very effective for ear infections as well. So you just take the Arnicade cream, rub it behind your child's ear. Okay, it's not invasive at all. It's very easy to do. Rub it behind the ear. So you could take a combination of these 3 things for ear infections, as well as some lavender essential oil. Did I bring any? No, I didn't bring any. Okay. So lavender essential oil can be rubbed with a carrier oil behind the ears. And then this is is St. Francis ear oil. So what I like to do, this is actually garlic. It's a base of olive oil with garlic and calendula and mullein. Mullein is also very soothing and healing as a plant. But what you can do is put a few drops of this in your child's ear before they go to bed, and then put a cotton ball in the ears. Okay? So that's a nice trio of things to try. If you want to go the natural route, you can try this before going in the conventional route, which sometimes the ear infection is so bad and it's scary and you have to go the conventional route. Okay? So you have to be a judge for yourself and know what you decide and want to do. Okay? The other thing I love, okay, vitamin D3, most people know about that. I'm not going to get too much into that. But again, during the winter season, it's dark. We have less exposure to sun. And we want to make sure we take a nice high quality vitamin D3. So here's one that most people take when their doctor prescribes it when the children are babies, but D3 drops. There's a wonderful one for adults by... is it Genestra? I think it's Genestra. Yeah, it's Genestra. It's a small bottle like this, 1,000 international units of vitamin D per drop. And it tastes like key lime pie. Delicious. It's like lemony, thick flavor. And so just one tiny drop and you've got already 1,000 international units. Some people take many. Anyway, vitamin D is a whole story of its own. Some people take many, many, many international units of vitamin D per day, per week. Everyone, varies in how they take vitamin D. So essential oils, I think, are beautiful. They're great. I love, love, love thieves oil. Basically, it's thieves oil. There are different companies that make thieves oil. So if you go with like the people that sell essential oils, they are going to have one called On Guard and the other one's called I have no idea. But I like this one. By now, it's much cheaper and you get a huge bottle of it, and I use this like crazy. The cleaning lady comes over and cleans my house with it. It's basically a very strong antimicrobial, antibacterial combination blend of essential oils. It's got clove, lemon, cinnamon, eucalyptus, rosemary. It smells amazing. I love essential oils. I really do. Oh my God, it smells amazing. And what I've done is I keep it, I've done a separate bottle with it. So I've taken my grapeseed oil, you can take almond oil or avocado oil, whatever you want, and put a few drops of this strong concentrated oil into your carrier oil and rub your child's feet. Rub your children's feet with that before they go to school. That's going to help protect them. You can also give them a little massage, rub up and down the spine, okay? So arm your kids with essential oils. Beautiful way of protecting your children's immune system. I love this. You can also use lavender essential oil. Tea tree oil is another one that you can do so much with. If you've got like a zit or a pimple, you can put it on to dry out the pimple. You can clean your house with this stuff. You can clean anything. You can sanitize your toothbrushes. I mean, the list goes on and make a mouthwash with tea tree oil. I'm not a huge fan of ingesting essential oils, but you can do a lot externally with essential oils and very, very effective. Oh yes, of course. You can also get a diffuser and diffuse this oil. It smells amazing, the Nature Shield. Diffuse it in the house. So you're gonna have the aroma going all over the house. You're gonna have the beneficial properties. All of these plants contain beautiful healing properties, and that's all gonna be diffused in your home, and it's a great way to keep everyone's immune system healthy by way of diffusion of essential oils. Another one I love, okay guys, we have one more minute. I love, actually, we have so many empty bottles of this because my husband's obsessed, but oil of oregano, oh my gosh. If you start to feel, this is so strong and potent, you can only take a couple drops at a time, wash it down with water, maybe like 2 or 3 drops. My husband takes like a dropper full of this stuff. If any of us are sick, he goes straight, he has his own bottle. He goes straight and takes like a dropper full, but I don't recommend that. It's too strong. It can also burn. It's too much. This is also an antimicrobial in your gastrointestinal tract if you're dealing with parasites or candida. But this is wonderful to take a few drops if you're starting to get that tickle in the throat, or if people around you are sick. Oil of oregano, awesome. I've had a beautiful bottle made up for me specifically for fevers Fevers are a whole other topic, and sometimes you've got to give the Tylenol and Advil, and sometimes you can help to not suppress the fever, because remember, the fevers are the children's bodies and the adults' bodies' ways of really mounting that immune response and sort of concentrating the infection and keeping your body healthy. So that's really the way that your body helps to fight. So if we're constantly suppressing fevers, unless they get too high, then maybe we're not doing a body so good if we're constantly suppressing that fever, because that fever is needed in order to fight off and ward off that infection. Another beautiful one is elderberry. You can get elderberry syrup at your health food store, and it actually is an antiviral. And in clinical studies, it's shown to shorten the duration of cold and flu, okay? And then reduce the intensity of the symptoms as well. So elderberry is beautiful. Some people make their own syrup. It's delicious. There is a sambucol, I think. It's like you can drink it by the bottle full. It's amazing. So that's basically my little arsenal and toolkit. So just to recap today, is thieves oil safe for babies under 1? I'm not going to say yes. I don't know. You have to check. Hi, Sabrina. You have to check. I would go to the essential oil people, the people that sell essential oils, and make sure 100%. One thing is for sure, you don't ever want to use essential oils straight on the body. Some people can tolerate, but I highly don't recommend it. I always say that you want to dilute your essential oils with carrier oil, such as grapeseed oil, like I said, avocado oil, sweet almond oil. Any of these carrier oils are going to help to sort of dilute the essential oils, because the essential oils are very potent and very strong, and you never want to burn your skin or anything. And for people who tell you to ingest essential oils, no, don't listen to those people. I mean, that is not correct. You can burn your insides, and most people that are selling essential oils that tell you to ingest essential oils actually don't really have any sort of medical background or training. So don't do it, guys. Just don't do it. Okay, to recap, guys, we covered today the 6 ways that you can increase and boost your immune system and your family's immune system and take care of your children in the best way possible during stressful cold and flu season. Can we maybe have a list of these with their applications? Okay, well, I suggest you just watch this Facebook Live again, because I've mentioned every single one and what they're good for. You can also go around and Google search the product and see what the properties of the product are. When it comes to health and wellness, you know, you have to just do your research and sort of educate yourselves. Now you've been exposed to the whole range of different products and different options and possibilities. I'll show you, I'll drive you guys to my online store as well, where I have the Altera Herbasante products. You can purchase them if you want on my website. And to recap, what we did today was we went over 6 ways to boost your immune system. So number 1 is whole foods. Great foundation, which is a healthy diet, healthy nutrition, maintaining a healthy gut bacteria, reducing stress levels, sleeping enough and having good quality of sleep, ditching sugar as much as possible, and supplementing properly using the right essential oils and supplements, because we can never underestimate the power of supplementation. So diet can take you to a certain degree, but supplements can often just really improve that process and really boost up that healing potential and the healing possibility. So supplements are a huge part of my clients' programs. I don't over supplement, but sometimes we really need supplements to take us over that hump. No matter how well that person's eating, supplementation is often the deciding factor that helps take them from feeling terrible symptoms to feeling amazing in their bodies. Okay? So I'm actually going to give you 3 recipes. I'll put it down. I don't want to go over time because I know everyone's busy, but I'll put the recipes underneath this Facebook Live. And I want to let you guys know that this was brought to you by the 15-15-15 rule. So I want to offer you guys, I want to offer the Perfect Moms a special promotional code, so that if you want to book a private consultation or a naturopathic session with me, I have something called the New Patient Starter Package. It's for new clients if you want to bring your children or have yourself seen. Remember, I specialize in digestive system health. I also help with hormonal imbalances, weight loss, stress, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, whatever the health condition is, there is always a possibility for healing. So What I'm offering today, I'll put the link below as well, is a free 15-minute discovery call. So we actually get on a personal call and we discuss if my services are right for you, if you're right for my services, if you're ready to make the changes, if you want to feel better and healthier in your body and you want to seek out natural alternatives. So it's the 15-15-15. Free 15-minute consultation to see if my services are right for you. 15% off of my private consultation services. So 2 sessions. My new patient starter package is normally $350, but for the perfect moms, $297 is the price for you guys, whoever takes action. And this is all valid till the 15th of November. So in order for everyone to remember, it's the 15-15-15 rule. And so what I urge you to do is go to the link that I'm going to give you. It's a link to my breakthrough call. When you get to this page, you will get to a little set of instructions. You'll get an online scheduler. It's my online booking calendar where you'll be able to click and book a 15-minute time slot for us to speak. Then you'll be guided to answer a few, it's kind of like a selective questionnaire. It's kind of like a filtering questionnaire because I really only want to take on clients that are good clients that are ready to make the changes. I want people to get results. Like that's my ultimate goal. So if you're ready to make the changes, ready to do the work, then you are ready for a naturopathic consultation. We see then if we're the right match, and then I can guide you to an area where you're going to purchase your sessions, and then we book it in, and then I have you fill out a whole bunch of information even before we meet so I can start gathering information on your case and analyzing your case. And then when we get on, we do a complete case history. I give you recommendations to go off with right away. Very comprehensive programs. I overdo it. I give people sometimes 9 to 11 page documents that are all typed up for them. So you'll never see my program twice for 2 different clients ever. I don't believe in that. Some naturopaths have like a sheet that they tick off and give everyone the same protocol. Not my thing. I strongly believe in the customization and the individualization of medicine, and I give everyone their own comprehensive program, including what supplements to take, what to eat, what lifestyle factors to implement, and people end up feeling good in a very short period of time. It's a beautiful profession. It's very rewarding and very promising and very lovely all around. So what else did I want to say? So those are your next steps. I'll give you as much information as I can underneath this Facebook Live. I'll go in and just type all the information that we talked about. Does anybody have, I've been on for an hour and 8 minutes. Does anybody have any final questions or comments or concerns or anything that they want to bring up or talk about that I could answer while I'm here on the Facebook Live? Okay, that's the first time I've shut up during this Facebook Live. Anybody? Any questions? Anything they want to ask? Again, naturopathic medicine to boost your family's immune system. The replay will be up in this group. I take it for life. So you can just go into the video section and you can look at, hopefully it works this way in Perfect Moms. Usually private groups work this way. So you can go into the video section and then you can access all of the different Facebook Lives that different moms have done. Okay, thank you so much. Thanks, Jenny. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I hope you got a lot out of this session today. And hi, Nadia. And if you have any questions or if you want to reach out and book the free 15-minute call to see if naturopathic medicine can benefit your health, then definitely reach out. And I wish you guys an amazing evening. And thanks so much for watching. Bye. Thank you. See you later.